Okay, 1 to 50. So for me, I'm going to highlight the ones I got. You can circle them, do what you need to do. 36. Yeah, 10. If you get a repeat, just do it again. So I got 35. 0? How'd you get a 0? Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. 19. 33. 4. Oops, I already got 4. Then just skip it and move on to the next one, because you need 10 different numbers. I got that too. I keep getting 36. That's not going to work. 16. 12, 13. One more. 29. Everybody know what we're doing here? Picking your numbers. Okay, once you get your 10, remember these are their, I don't know, satisfaction scores from the concert. I don't know what we're calling it. Enjoyment level, that's what it is. So you're going to take the 10 sections that or seats that you got, and you're going to average those scores. All right, so grab a calculator. On your phone will work fine. If you want to borrow one of mine, you can. They're up here. We're going to average those out and round it to a whole number. Yeah.
Would it be the numbers that the website gave us or the numbers that we highlighted?
The ones that you highlighted. Yeah, good question. So, nearest whole number. So I got 77.6, so I'm going to round that to a 78. Okay? So you do you. Did you get the same thing? Okay, so what we're going to do with that is put our scores for method 1, simple and simple, on the dot plot on the next page. So if you go to your next page, scrolling a little bit. Maybe it's at the bottom of the page. Where is it? Is it at the bottom? Simple. Where's simple? Okay, they don't have it on your paper, but we're going to draw it out. It's okay. It's easier to do it right here anyway. Okay? So we know it's 0 to 100. 50's in the middle. So we just eyeball it. All right. So my score was 78, so I'm going to put a dot right there, and then we'll go around and put all of our dots on the same dot plot so we can get an idea of what the average of our averages would be. All right. So, Cassandra, what'd you get?
76.
She got 76. It's going to be really close to mine. What'd you get, Lily?
77.
77. Just smush it in there. We're just guessing here. Makoa, what'd you get?
78.
78. What about you? 83? Okay. Something different. Lily? Liz?
77.
Just Lily. 77? Sorry. We're going to get there. Abilene?
78.
Wow. This is looking very, very close, isn't it? Caden, what'd you get?
80.
80. Straight up?
Yeah.
80. Okay. Dylan?
79.
Jeepers creepers. All right.
77.
77? Oh, no. It's not great. Brock?
72.
Oh, 72. Way down here. So different.
73.
Okay. It's not going to be hard to figure this one out, is it? Bailey, what'd you get?
What is it? 77.
Okay, we'll stack them up here. Jordan?
77.
Parna? 71? Okay, so this isn't going to be hard to estimate, is it?
Yeah.
What would, you had a 75? Okay. What? Oh, the average of all of those is 75? Did you average them? You're saying it's probably around 75? So she's estimating the average around 75. Do you agree? Okay, great. So, all right, great. So the average of our simple random samples is around 75. Why did you do that? So now what we're going to do, it's the same thing, but the way we choose our 10 seats is going to change. All right. So this time we're going to stratify, so you can write this down. Stratify by rows. All right. So how many rows do I have in the section? 5 rows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I want 10 seats, how many seats do I need to take from each row? 2. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to number my seats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So in my random.org, instead of 1 to 50, I'm changing it to 1 to 10. And I need to pick 2 seats per row, and then highlight those scores, and then we're going to average those scores. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. Let's try this out. Again, if we get a duplicate number, just hit generate again and pick you a new one. Two seats per row. Jeez, can't do that. I think I'll be more strategic on my dot plot, maybe. Don't think we really need anything lower than 50, do you? We're not going to have it average that low, are we? So let's try to be more strategic. So if this is 100 and this is 50. Okay, so I got 78. Maybe doing the same thing again, right? Okay, what'd you get?
76.
76.
79.
79. Lily?
78.
78. 79. 78. I still didn't make it big enough. Liz, what'd you get?
84.
Oh, 84. She's different. Okay. Ailey, what'd you get?
69.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems awfully low.
That's okay. It may have just picked lower numbers. So she got 69. Who's next? Dylan? 78. Bennett? 86.
No, 76.
Oh, my bad. 76. Rock?
79.
79. Nick?
81.
81. Bailey? 78. Jordan? 80. Parna? 99. Okay. So, not a lot of differences there. Okay. Did we get everybody? Yeah? Okay, so what would you say is the average of these? 78? Something like that? Okay, so my average is approximately 78. No big deal there. Now, why do we care? Well, because there's going to be a method that is best to give us a good estimate that's easier to collect. Okay, numbering the seats 1 to 100 is kind of tedious, right? So that, I mean, although it's possible, it just is time consuming and harder to do. So we're looking at an easier strategy to get a similar result. So there's stratifying by rows. Now we're going to do, on number 3, we're going to stratify, but this time by columns. How many columns do we have? These were rows, right? Horizontal. So we have 10, it's early, I know. 10 columns, right? 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. So we number our seats by column. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats, yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are we putting in our generator? 1 to 5. And then how many each column are we choosing? 1, because there's already 10 columns, right? It's just a different way of looking at it. So it's like same song, third verse. We're just changing our generator just slightly. Oh, a lot of 5s. Stretch that even further. Yeah, I know it's crooked. Okay, stretch it out even further. See if we can get a better clue on this. All right. Y'all got an average? I got 75. All right. For mine. Cassandra, what'd you get?
76.
76. Lily?
80.
80. Makoa? 78. 80? Okay. Liz, what'd you get? You still working on it?
I got 84.
84? Really? Okay. It can happen. Avery? 79. Dylan? 75. Bennett? 83. Rock?
75.
Nick?
79.
Caden?
84.
4. Bailey? Okay. Now look at those. Did that change it up a little? Yeah, what's our average now? Ballpark it. Don't figure it out. Approximately 79. Do you think that's the truth? Closer to the truth or further from the truth? I think it's further. Okay. Fair enough. Which of the three is best, do you think? So far. The first two are kind of the same, aren't they? So if you're trying to decide between the first two, which would be easier to pull off? Number 2, wouldn't it? Be easier to actually collect that data. So number 2 as far as ease and accuracy. Now, I'm going to... You kind of have to keep... Yeah, but that's cluster systematic. I want it down a little bit because I want to do these last two with you. All right, so look at this method. What we did before was stratify by row, stratify by column, right? So this one is what we call clustering. So here's how it's described. It's to make it easier to distribute the surveys, the students decided to randomly pick one row and sample every fan in that row because there's 10 in that row, right? So how many rows are we telling it generator to pick from? 5. So this was a little faster. So from 1 to 5, have it generate for you which row? For me, it's row 2. So I'm going to average all the scores in row 2. See how I do. Oh, goodness. I got an 87. What'd y'all get?
That's crazy.
87? Anyone else?
No, that's what it is.
92?
I got 70. What the heck?
What, did you get row 5?
I got 4.
Row 4? Anyone else? Anybody got row 3? What'd you get, Brock? Okay. Row 1? Anybody get row 1? You got row 1? What'd you get?
92.
92. I had row 2. I got 87. Row 3, anybody? Who's still working? What'd you get, kid? 75 for row 3. Row 4? Nick?
I got 70.
70? Row 5? What'd you get?
66.
Why do you think those scores are getting lower the further back we're going? You're further from the stage, right? So do you think this method is going to be a good representation of the whole? No. Would it be easy to collect? Yes, it would. But it's not a good representation. So this is called cluster sampling. It's when you take all from some, and in the notes I talk about this. It's all from some sort of subdivision. In this case, our subdivision was rows. We took all of them, right? Stratifying is when you take some from all, when we took a couple from each column, or a couple from each row, or we took one from each column. Last one, And I know this one has been a very tedious simulation, so they aren't all this long. Last one is what we call a systematic sample. And so it's important to sample fans that have different views of the stage. We can see that, right, after that last one. They want to sample every 8th fan. All right, well, we can't all start at number 1 and count to 8, right? That would be different. So what you want to do is then take your random generator and select a number between 1 and 100. Right? Or is it 50? It's 50, isn't it? 1 and 50, I'm sorry. 1 and 50. Huh, I got 50. All right, so I'm starting with seat number 50. That's the first one in my sample. And then I count 8 and circle the next one. Count 8, circle the next one. Until I have 10 circled, 10 different people circled.
Do you include that?
Yep. Start with the one you got, and then count. Like, I got 50, so I go back to 1 and count to 8 and circle that one. And then for the last time, we will average these out. How are y'all's averages? Similar? 78? I got 78. Are we in the ballpark? So cluster's not bad, or not cluster. Systematic isn't bad, but it can be a little tedious, right? Maybe a little bit. So we've done a bunch of different types of samples. Systematic's the easiest one to pick out when you read a description because it'll say like every 8th, every 10th, every 5th, or whatever. So it's really easy to figure out, and that's going to be your job, is to read a description and decide which type of sampling method this is. Stratified, cluster, systematic, or is it just a simple random sample? Something using a random generator, all right? Those are the main methods you're going to look at. So we could do the dot plot, but we're not going to save some time. However, that gives you a little taste of the sampling methods. These are all valid sampling methods because they use randomization in some form, right? Then the question becomes which one is the easiest to pull off time-wise, financially, and all the things, okay? So what you need to do, what is your homework?